Google I/O has wrapped up and the company delivered some serious new hardware. Not only did Google reveal the Pixel 6a and Pixel Buds Pro, but they even teased the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro along with a new Pixel Watch and Pixel tablet. Like I said, some serious new hardware. And to help you stay in the loop with everything that Google announced, we have a roundup of all of the new hardware coming from this year's Google I/O. Let's jump right in. Google's next mid-range smartphone is the Google Pixel 6a, which comes in charcoal, chalk, and sage. It has the same basic design as the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, with one difference being there's a camera bar on the back with a slightly redesigned camera array. It has a wider area for the cameras to appear as a single array instead of each camera having its own cutout. There are two rear cameras, one a wide angle and the other a standard main camera. Both are 12 megapixels. The 6.1-inch OLED display has a 60 Hz refresh rate and an in-display fingerprint sensor. Inside the Pixel 6a is Google's Tensor processor, a Titan M2 security chip, 128 gigs of storage, and 6 gigs of memory. It'll connect to Bluetooth 5.2, Wi-Fi 6E, and 5G networks. And if you're wondering about the battery, Google is touting a 24-hour battery life with a 4,400 milliampere hour battery. You'll have to wait just a bit to get your hands on Google's Pixel 6a. They will begin taking pre-orders on July 21st with shipments starting July 28th. The Pixel 6a is going to run you $449. Next up, Google's wireless earbuds are getting a big upgrade. The Pixel Buds Pro are packed with features like active noise cancellation and a transparency mode that lets in environmental sounds around you, which is helpful when you're walking along a busy street. The Buds Pro also support multi-point connectivity, which means you can connect the wireless earbuds to multiple devices, and they can be any device, yes, even Apple devices. You can seamlessly switch between devices without having to use the Bluetooth menu to connect or disconnect the buds. The Buds Pro is water resistant and sweat resistant, so you can wear them while working out and not worry about ruining them. As for battery life, Google claims you'll get 7 hours of listening time when active noise cancellation is turned on, or 11 hours when it's disabled. And that number jumps to 20 hours of total listening time when you take into account the charging case. Just like the Pixel 6a, you're going to have to wait just a bit to get your hands on the Pixel Buds Pro. Pre-orders will begin July 21st, and they're going to run you $199. The long-rumored Pixel Watch is finally real, or at least Google is telling us it exists. We don't know too much about it yet. In fact, Google only teased it at I/O with the promise that we would learn more about it when it's released later this year. What we do know is that the Pixel Watch will run Wear OS by Google, will have tight integration with Fitbit, feature Google Assistant, and there will be an LTE option. Google Wallet for mobile payments and Google Maps for turn-by-turn directions will also be available. As for design, the leaks over the last couple of years have been very accurate. It has a round design, just like we saw in the photos of the watch that were left behind in a restaurant, with a crown on the right side. And the display looks like it covers most of the surface area with minimal bezels. The Pixel Watch wasn't the only device previewed during the keynote. Google showed us a first glance at the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro. The phones look a lot like last year's crop of Pixel phones, but with the same camera array look that the Pixel 6a just debuted with. Presumably, the Pixel 7 lineup will launch later this fall alongside the Pixel Watch, running Android 13. Maybe some of the most exciting news from the event is that Google will be entering the tablet market again next year. They unveiled that the Pixel tablet will be available in 2023. Outside of a rough launch target, we don't know much about the tablet. What we do know, though, is that Google's last tablet was the Nexus 7, which was released all the way back in 2013. Google has let other companies like Samsung make Android tablets instead. This has allowed Apple to dominate the tablet market with the iPad. Google takes Pixel phone hardware seriously, so it's exciting news for Android users that Google is re-entering the tablet market. And that's a wrap. This year's Google I/O previewed a ton of hardware that we cannot wait to get our hands on in the next year or two. And if there's a specific device that you want to see a review on, we'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stick with ZDNet for all things tech.